Welcome back. Welcome back. So, Cancer, right? Cancer, moon, and rising. My energy, and I benefit from water, so I'm in the shower, and started having all of these downloads as I was re-listening to the last live, and so this reading, despite whatever comes out, may be particularly important if you have children, or there are important children in your life, or important children who need to become a part of your life in some which way, shape, or form. So we'll just put that out there. Okay? But I've got the Symbolon cards. I've got my Santa Muerte Tarot. I've got my Prismavision Tarot and my Healing Light Tarot. And we're just going to see where it goes. And we're going to start with Symbolon. So this is Symbolon, the Deck of Remembrance, right? So, Spirit, please. What do you want us to know? Me too, Skag. That's funny. Me too. Amazing. Like I was a pothead from the time I was 16 all the way up until I was like 35, 36 years old, somewhere in there. I think I was fresh turned 36, and I stopped smoking. But yeah, 420 will forever remind me of the old days. The old days. All right. Here, please. What do we need to start with? Where are we starting? Where are we starting with this message? For whoever needs it, right in divine time, always. Ooh, interesting. All right. What else? May definitely be dealing with Libra and Gemini energy. Okay. And potentially scorpionic wounds. So you may be a part of that Pluto Scorpio generation, or have significant scorpionic energy that's transformative. Definitely dealing with Gemini and Libra. Also notes to Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. All right. And then we've got Cancer, Scorpionic energy on the bottom, and Gemini, Piscean energy on top. So I'm just going to let you take a quick look at these cards and let you divine your own messages before I get into my own divining. All right, so this is the first card that came out. This was the second card that came out. The third card that came out. And then the top and bottom of the deck. This was the top and this was the bottom. All right, so we're dealing with these energies. That's what I'm looking at here, okay? All right. Whoever the Libran energy is, maybe the one going through the transformation, they may be dealing with their quote-unquote boogeyman, right? Their shadow. Especially if their reality is trying to integrate with their spirituality, right? Gemini and Pisces energy. The reality is attempting to integrate with spirituality. Especially if that means some kind of mother energy needs to be laid to rest, whether it's wounds with your own mother, feeling abandoned or discarded, or whether it's leaving a different mother in your life, even if it's not your mother. It could be toxic femininity, okay, where the inner child of the self felt abandoned or essentially left for dead or betrayed, right, in the metaphorical sense and or literal sense. But I feel like there's this maternal wounding that's healing. I do feel like this is someone's own energy, right? Especially if they have strong Piscean placements or strong Gemini placements that are working on integrating, especially since those energies are both mutable and they're naturally squared in astrology. The Piscean energy and Gemini energy may be working on integrating, right? Rising to the challenge. Especially if you have Cancerian wounds like Lilith or Chiron or Saturn or Pluto or South Node, or, you know, something that's more difficult to process for you, right? It would be something that you have potentially avoided and buried, and that's why it's become the boogeyman in your relationships with other people. There's probably maternal wounds that needed healing. If your Libran energy is strong or your Sagittarian energy is strong, you may be dealing with one or the other as a partner, in the reality or from the past or moving forward in the future. But I feel like it's a Libran and Sagittarian energy that's thinking about moving forward to their own sacred space within the world, right? Creating their own sanctuary. Either a Libra could be moving towards a Sag or with a Sag, or vice versa. And there may be a Geminian energy or strong Capricorn energy that may be left feeling rather wounded, right? That they're moving forward from a crippled or handicapped space because of the shift. Because of the integration that's going on in an individual. Because whatever the Gemini energy is, it's feeling wounded. If this is energy that pertains to an individual, their own Gemini energy may feel wounded without the integration of their spirituality, which is also tied to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is also mutable, and so it squares Pisces and it opposes Gemini. So a lot of mutability. Libra and Capricorn are both cardinal signs. And then Scorpio and Scorpio. Yeah, that's our fixed sign out on the board. Cancer, Capricorn, yeah, cardinal energies. So let's see. Because there's obviously some kind of integration going on, some kind of rising to the challenge going on, some kind of wounding being faced, the acknowledgement of said wound, and potentially a moving forward in a direction with someone who is very compatible with you, right? Sag and Libra are actually very compatible, leaving what is essentially a Gemini or Capricornian energy left feeling kind of wounded. If, like I said, that Gemini energy is not the wounded part of the self that is looking towards integrating and healing. Maybe they feel wounded without their Libra or Sagittarian counterpart, right? If they have strong Gemini energy, that part of themselves may feel wounded or crippled in the world without their partner, right? Shadow maternal energies healing. So what is going on, Spirit? Insight, please. I've got 3 different decks you guided me to, so let's get into it. What is going on with this energy? For whoever needs it in divine time, right? Whoever it's meant for. What is going on? We got the 10 of Pentacles. The Hanged Man in reverse. Santa Muerte, the Death card. Five of Pentacles. Clarities, please. This is really fucking interesting, these cards. We've got the Eight of Pentacles clarifying the Ten of Pentacles. Clarify the reversed Hangman. The Ten of Wands. Clarify the Death card. When I tell you we're healing fucking maternal wounds or mothers that we are connected to, whether that mother is like a baby mom or a mother that is a friend of yours or your own mother or a grandmother or a soul mom, like whatever it is, you being a mother, your own maternal wounds healing, right? Take this as it resonates for you. We got the Five of Cups clarifying the Death card. And clarify the Five of Pentacles, please. The Six of Pentacles. Top of the deck is the Two of Cups, soulmate energy. And the Five of Swords on bottom. This is in I water you, you water me energy. Right? The mind is thinking about love and pouring into the mind of another, so there may be psychic connection here, and the one being poured into is the one that's actually touching the heart of the person, thinking or feeling about them. All right. The Five of Swords is conflict, and it's probably, they're probably surrounded by what is essentially a lot of aggression. Someone who is not mentally kind, right? Someone that they actually are in the middle of a conflict with, or they're afraid or consciously thinking of the ramifications of who they're feeling about. Maybe they're afraid of an argument. They may be afraid of backlash for moving in that direction. Someone may be toxic and literally pregnant. And this person, I mean, I just get the messages, okay, don't fucking shoot the messenger. Someone could actually be pregnant, but also be toxic. And someone is looking at cutting off a connection with them. Even if it's heartbreaking, right? Because look at this fucking Death card. She is pregnant as hell. And looking at this empty crib, this huge scythe, and she's holier than thou, right? And yet there's this Five of Cups energy clarifying it. I feel like this could be someone who is very righteous. I'm taking this two ways. It could be someone who is very righteous and toxic, who deals with a lot of their own mental flipping. They're constantly trying to figure out the best way to get what they want. And it leaves them with regret. It may be only a matter of time before reciprocity takes place and someone walks forward, walks away, abandons the situation, like it's only a matter of time. The Ten of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles, someone is working on a living situation or working on their finances or working on their ability to manifest the dream reality. Hanged Man in reverse with the Ten of Wands. I feel like someone is definitely coming at a pause because of the heaviness of a spiritual burden that's been on them, that they're starting to see it quite clearly. Like usually the Hanged Man is shown or depicted, and again there's this time, right, this clock in the background. It's only a matter of time. I feel like this person, because the Hanged Man's literally shown upside down in most decks, but this one is shown upright with the head detached. So putting it in reverse is literally what would be like an upright Hanged Man, and it's the heart, literally the heart being over the head. I think that someone is coming out of what is essentially a divine pause or a divine lesson when it comes to spiritual burden and the crosses that we bear. Time's ticking. We have all of this different energy surrounding time. It looks like a medicine pouch on this card, and it's crazy because it looks like a lowercase g, but it's an 8, right? 8 of Pentacles, but it looks like a lowercase g, like on an old school typewriter. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It's on the bag. Someone's working on getting their finances in order to come out of pause. I think there's definitely going to be a transformation that's going to leave sadness or abandonment in its wake. I think that's what this energy is. Okay. The person feeling wounded or crippled without whatever they had. It may be because they haven't dealt or healed their own maternal wounds. Like, you know, women turn into their mothers, and it's like someone is literally like their mother, and their mother's energy is not attractive to be in connection with. I'm picking up some weird messages like, whoever is being left behind may have wished death on someone else at some point. Which, you don't do that, right? Words are spells. If you hoped that someone would just fucking die or drop dead or disappear, like, there's karma that comes back around in that kind of energy. Not that, you know, you're wishing death on yourself per se, but there's a humbling or an ego death that comes along with that. So I feel like someone may have been quite manipulative at some point, and they're dealing with the karmic lesson, the ramifications of their manipulation, especially if they got pregnant to manipulate someone, right? They got pregnant as a means to solve something. They had a problem, they wanted a solution, and they chose pregnancy as the solution. But then didn't nurture the reality, right? Then didn't nurture it. They didn't actually come forward and nurture it. I think for someone, time is up. Time is up for someone. What other message, Spirit, please, would you have in alignment with this? What insight, what further insight do we have into the situation for whomever needs this? There's like a weird snake head in this picture too. Creeping at the bottom. See that? It's like hiding in the flowers down there. And she's holding an hourglass too. Like, this is someone... And it might very well be that scorpionic energy, right? That toxicity that's transforming. Someone has karma. Someone has karma, okay? The debt's not paid. The manifestation from the energy they put out, it was only a matter of time before that energy manifested and showed up. Like, it was only a matter of time before the divine set up all the dominoes and set them off. It's like a weird, it's like such a weird, like, trapping feeling. Like someone either knew they fucked up or knew they weren't necessarily worthy of the manifestation they were reaping. And it's almost like this death card is giving me like these nails in the coffin thing, like I got you. You know what I mean? Like it's like a weird, manipulative, like mental maze, mind game type energy. And yet we have this soulmate that, you know, they're intuitively picking up on each other. And someone's holding space. Before I pull those cards, let's get nosy. I want to look at the bottom of the deck. Underneath the Two of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands. And it looks like it's like a whole nother reaper cutting down this energy, right? These red flower synchronicities. It's like it's cutting it down. This can't touch me energy. Like someone claimed a victory too early. Now they're eating their words. They're eating their words. There's something that they said, right? Words are powerful. There's something that they said. And the Ace of Cups is coming in with the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is watering. It's a figure watering new flowers. And someone collecting the Page of Pentacles, this opportunity. This reinvention opportunity. Yeah, it's time. It's like the universe is saying it's time. There's some kind of energy that went out at some point, some words that were spoken, and the karma is being reaped. Even if someone didn't wish death on another, it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking kill you, or I'm gonna fucking kill her, or I'm gonna fucking kill him. Like, you know what I mean? Like some crazy... Someone was talking crazy, but they didn't realize the vibration that was coming from was really toxic, and that the universe registered that energy and started manifesting what is essentially a very big divine lesson. All right, what else? What else? Here we have the Chariot. Divine is guiding someone. Queen of Pentacles. What else? The Ten of Wands. So now we've got that out twice. And the Page of Pentacles. All right, clarities, please. Like someone's seizing the opportunity. Yeah, Chariot clarified by judgment. Someone's making a judgment call. Someone's making a call to move forward. It's double major arcana, so this is definitely divinely driven, soulfully driven. It's a higher path choice. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Clarify the Ten of Wands. The Two of Swords. And the Eight of Pentacles. Clarify the Page of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is Justice. There's that Libran energy and the Knight of Swords. It's also Gemini energy, so Libra, Gemini again. We've got Cancer here again, and we've got Scorpio again. Right? Pisces again and Scorpio again. So we're dealing with the same major arcanas signs as we did in Symbolon, okay? Someone's moving forward. Someone's definitely moving forward. They're making the call officially. It's like the soul switch, right? All that mutability. It's like the soul switch. They're taking the lead in a very fixed direction. The Queen of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles, I think they're holding on to what is essentially a high feminine manifestation, right? Because if you could see this card, like she's surrounded by magic and these supersized strawberries, and she's got this golden pentacle, and she's sitting there in this strawberry patch just watching her magic grow, all of this supernatural garden type energy. Yeah, there's all different kinds of flowers and these huge strawberries. And the Four of Pentacles is like the mind is fixed or holding on to what they have. This could be someone who is manifesting something big and not necessarily giving out to other people right now. Someone who may be perceived as stingy or Scrooge-like, but it's because of the burden, right? It's because of this burden and this need to work on things, this need to work on whatever they're working on, right? Coming out of this blind space, this blindfolded space, just swinging in the air. You know, they're tired of, what is essentially dodging the transformation. Like they know it's there. They could see the butterfly, or at least sense the butterfly, right? There's this little butterfly there, and they can sense it. And it's like, it's almost like they've been trying to hit it, but they've got to get up off the cut tree that they're sitting on to do that. They've got to take the blindfold off and actually face the butterfly and realize it's not something they actually want to disturb, but something they want to water, right? Something they want to water and put work into. The Page of Pentacles is picking up this coin around near where that Queen of Coins sits, right? Because the strawberries are there. These flowers, right? They're picking up this opportunity and walking through the door, right? We have multiple portal energy, doorway energy. They're taking a shot, crossing a threshold. And it's justice. It's sticking this, what I refer to in this deck as this crazed, like, mother goose, right? We're talking about this mother energy. It's like cutting off the snake, even if it's going to sting, right? Because they were worried about, you know, the backlash. But it's like cutting off a snake, even though it's going to sting, because the snake has to go, right? The snake has to go. Somewhat, like, again, with the sword in the mouth, right? The sword in the mouth energy, right? Because that was on the bottom of this deck. How the sword was in the mouth. The sword is in the mouth here as well. And I feel like someone's doing it in secret with the moon underneath of there. They're taking care of this toxic mother goose. They're doing it in secrecy, right? These nighttime cards. Someone's planning. They're getting their finances in order and they're planning, and I don't think someone else realizes it. All right, Spirit. Further clarify this message. The World. Yeah, it's a chapter closing. There's a chapter closing. The World was the first card out. What else? Someone who is rising above their ancestral karma, right? Or the repeating of toxic familial patterns. Because this World card is standing on top of a tree. Someone's overcoming familial karma, ancestral karma. They're breaking the patterns of family pain. Because the World is also Saturnian. What else? The Three of Wands. Someone standing at the shore watching the ship come in and someone is watching it move away. Four of Swords. This could definitely be the end of a dynamic with the two coffins here. There's a feminine and masculine coffin here. So it could be the ending. It's the end of a journey for a dynamic. It is the end of a journey. I feel like the karma or the lesson or whatever the importance of this dynamic was, it's been experienced to the full extent and learned from. And now it's over. Someone may need to take reprieve. Someone may need peace. I think this is like a surrendering. Just make sure if you're closing a cycle that you're closing it correctly and in the highest good of all involved, because otherwise it'll recycle next life. You and this soulmate if it's not closed properly. What else? Yeah, the Five of Wands. Give me one more and then clarities. I think it's just too much clash. I'm getting this feeling of someone trying to intentionally hurt another person, like provocative. Like they're saying or doing things intentionally to put someone else in a defensive position. With the Seven of Wands. Clarities, please. Clarify the World card. The Three of Wands, the Four of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Like someone's saying something to hit them where it hurts. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. The World is clarified by the High Priestess. Again, Piscean energy. I think someone intuitively knew, even though they went down this path, that it would always end up this way. It was always going to end this way. They knew it already. Three of Wands clarified by Strength, Leo energy. It's like having to It's like someone's been trying to hold up the identity that they've had for themselves, like their egoic identity. They've been trying to hold it up for so long and it's gotten heavy. Because like there's two energies holding it up and they're both like bent at the knees doing everything they can to hold it up. Like pride. So like defending something that is beyond its expiration date is going to become very heavy and may cause the ship to sail, right? To be the person from that perspective. Roaring and defending an egoic, toxic self for too long, right? Being too prideful to admit that they were wrong may be causing the ship to sail. Clarify the Four of Swords. Got the Four of Cups. I feel like for whoever needs this message, like if you're defending something that's beyond its expiration date, I think that if you wait too long, you're going to end up laying in the bed you made and missing the opportunity to actually move forward. Because something's dead. Some relationship dynamic is done. It's expired. It's over. The cycle or the learning has closed. And to egoically hold it up or persist in it out of pride, not wanting to admit that it was a failed dynamic and you always knew it, it's going to create missed opportunities. It's going to feel essentially like death while living. The divine is trying to give you an opportunity to move forward. Conflict in the home. Five of Wands being clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. You may feel judged by a family, whether it's your family or another person's family. People are trying to hit you where it hurts. Like, you know, it's almost like reclaiming, look, they're my family, and if you leave me, like, you lose all of them. It's that kind of energy, right? Someone's trying to hit him where it hurts. They're trying to hit him with family, especially if family means a lot to them. And they might have that power, right? They might have that power to take whatever family it is away from whoever this is, which is why it comes with a sting. It's probably why this person's defended it for so long, even though it's been done, been over. Clarify the Seven of Wands. Clarify the Seven of Wands. Justice. Justice. Defending the self. Defending the self against injustice. It's not fair. It's not fair. It could be something like, well, if you leave me, then you lose my whole family. It could also be like, well, if you leave me, you'll never see your child again, right? Because we were talking about that pregnant, toxic energy over on the first deck, the Santa Muerte deck. And someone having to defend themselves, like, you can't keep me chained here with threats, right? Because someone's trying to play mind games involving sadness and regret. Like, you're gonna regret it. If you leave me, you're gonna regret it. And that might be karmic, right? That might be karmic in and of itself. They may have done that to someone else in a sense, right? Directly or indirectly. They may have said, fine, you leave me, you lose everybody. And that might have been what happened. Like, there's a lot of karma here. The Two of Wands with the Knight of Cups. I feel like someone's deciding whether or not they should reach out. It's the fleur-de-lis on one side and the death rose on the other. And so it's almost like choosing old, prideful, like royalty type energy versus the transformation. It's the choice between the two. Someone is on that precipice, that threshold of choice. They're finding themselves on that threshold of choice. They, you know, if they're going to reach out to someone, Knight of Cups, like if you're planning on reaching out to someone, understand like the intention of why you're reaching out has to be in alignment. If you're reaching out for the wrong reason, either that person's not going to receive it well, or they're not going to be available and miss the call or miss the message or whatever, like it won't be received because it's in misalignment. So make sure if you're reaching out to somebody that you're doing it for the right reasons. And, you know, take the leap of faith instead of, you know, coming from this position of foolishness. This is about taking a leap, a big leap. Like going all in leap, right? All in. Because the Fool isn't just standing and walking off the edge. He is full-blown leaping off the edge, full-blown jumping. Like if you're going to go in, go all in. Don't play games. If your intention is to play games, or your intention is to have cake and eat it too, or your intention is to manipulate, like you're going to miss it out. You're going to miss out on it. If you're going to go in, you got to go all in. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. Top of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we have this pregnancy energy and this changing fate, right? This changing fate. Someone is birthing a new reality or juggling a situation where there was a pregnancy involved, whether present or at some point, and moving forward, right? The Death card, 8 of Cups, the Death card, someone that they were at one point committed to, high aligned contract. There might have been a lot of draw to this person or chemistry. May have been looked at as like a high feminine when they're Hermit energy, King of Wands energy. They're non-committal on their own, right? They're not actually in it. It's a 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords energy that you were always meant to move on from, right? Chariot and Judgment back to back on the bottom of the deck. Just like we had Chariot clarified by Judgment here, they're back to back in this deck. It was always meant to be the judgment call that leaves said person. It was 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords. It was all a lie. Like, it was all a lie. And I understand, you know, for people realizing this, like, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to realize that you thought somebody was someone that they're not. And they ended up just being some manipulative, you know, juggling, dualistic, right? They may have two completely different selves. One they show you and one that's internal. That's the real, you know, the real energy going on underneath. This person may come off really kind and compassionate and considerate, and everybody that needs anything, I could do it for them. Like, really, you know, personable. But on the inside, they're fucking selfish and they're manipulating and they're playing people like fucking chess, you know what I mean, to get what they want. And it's like, you might have thought for the longest time that this person was someone that they're not. And I think that whoever it is that was dealing with said person is realizing that they were being fucking played. That it was toxic, that they were connected to this person because of deep wounds, right? Deep wounds surrounding mothers. Jesus. Let's give a guidance card. Let's pull a guidance card. I'm being pulled in my crystal mandala. And we'll wrap it up. So what is the guidance spirit? Whether the viewer, is this person leaving? Is this person that's manipulating? Or is this person on the outside knowing exactly who the fuck this is all about? Because maybe they were in said situation with one of these individuals. What is the overall guidance? What is the overall guidance for this message? What is in the highest good? What is serving of the highest good with this? Sacred play. Sacred play. Card number 7. Angel Kelly-El and Polychrome Jasper. It says, we bring you the gift of sacred play. We enter your heart bringing joy and an ability to have fun, to laugh, and to see the silly and playful side of life, and to be entertained by the wonderful spectacle of it. When you know how to look, you will see the joyful hand of the Creator behind so many of the people, places, and things we've seen. You will begin to feel the Creator's delight in creation, and you will feel laughter deep in your soul, a joyful connection with the universe as you realize that even in its strange and sometimes dark mystery, life has a brightness and a delight to it, a sense of humor and a quirky, amusing, enjoyable beauty. We know there is great joy inside you, and we will help you reconnect with that joy now, so even your most arduous challenges will not diminish your capacity to feel the light of your spirit and take delight in your life. It takes courage to connect with your inner world and to go deep into the truth of your pain and bring love to those wounds, to allow the healing current to transform and free you from the past. It takes maturity to live with depth, to look beyond the surface, and to refuse to give up on your journey when something difficult is asked of you in order to grow. To succeed on the spiritual path, you will need this willingness to enter the darkness and liberate the love from within yourself, opening the darkness up to receiving divine light. Although there can be great joy in the resolution of such suffering, during the process itself, there may not seem to be much joy at all. There is discipline required to keep your spiritual light shining, the discipline of inner work and dealing with your quote-unquote stuff. There are times when the spiritual path will feel like a marathon that taxes you beyond your limits, physically, emotionally, and psychologically, and to summon the energy to play might seem, ironically enough, laughable. Then in your fatigue and exhaustion, having worked so hard for your spiritual growth and personal development, you might feel ashamed that you are not laughing, joyful, enlightened, and taking delight in all that is. Do not feel guilty or ashamed. This oracle does not come with any such intention. Rather, it comes as a peace offering from the universe. The divine is extending a hand of friendship. You've been working so hard to heal. There's a knock at the door, and it's the universe in the form of that cheeky, curious person from down the street, inviting you to come and play. You know, and it's interesting because I was talking about karma, right? Sometimes we do things and we don't realize just how misaligned it is. And then when those people sent to us as angels in this life, you know, move forward because they've reached what is essentially a dead end with it, right? The cycle has closed. People move forward and think nothing of it, or don't reconcile the healing, or see how abusive in their own energetic taking they were, only to find themselves in a situation where they are in this exact position of the person that was helping them, right? They find themselves in a quote-unquote earth angel position, being energetically abused by someone else. And Spirit's like, now do you know what it was like for that person to love you? Because you essentially became them and loved someone just like yourself in your darkness. Now do you understand what they went through? You know what I mean? It's this play, this game that the universe has with us in our healing. And so we have to laugh when things are shitty, right? When things are shitty and we're reaching these burdensome places where we feel overtaxed, right? This 10 of Wands energy, we feel this taxation of energy. We're like, gosh, you know, and it's like, well, how did you tax someone else's energy? The universe is putting it into divine perspective for you. You know, if someone loved you and gave you their everything and you abused it, went in a different direction, giving your all to someone who essentially abused it, well, now you understand what it's like to be that person, right? The person, now you understand what it was like to be the person loving you when you were being abusive. You know, it's something you kind of have to find laughter and, you know, like, wow, I really did bring that lesson on myself. You know what I mean? I really did bring that lesson on myself. You know, I had said, like, way back, this is going years back, when I first started my own twin flame journey, you know, I had thought for the longest time that I was suffering because I had realized in hindsight how my own behavior in a dynamic previous to my twin flame counterpart, how I was, in fact, like, I would not define myself as a narcissist, right? Not even a little bit. But in that dynamic with my ex, I could see in hindsight how I was narcissistic, right? And so when I moved forward into my twin flame dynamic, I was like, is this punishment, right? Is this punishment, right? We're talking about Saturnian energy. Is this punishment for mistreating such a good soul? because he really was an earth angel, right? In hindsight, he was an earth angel, my ex, and I hurt him. I hurt him multiple times, right? Multiple times. And even though I apologized and reconciled and took ownership of his value and seeing his value, it didn't stop me from learning the lesson that I had to go through, right? The martyring of the self. It was still important for me to learn it, what it was like to martyr for someone who was not emotionally available, because at the time, the quote unquote narcissistic behavior that I was exuding was coming from a very emotionally unavailable, emotionally wounded place. I had mommy issues. Okay. I had mother issues. Very active. I was not unaware of the fact that I was healing through a lot of these things while I was with my ex, right, prior to my counterpart. And in the dynamic with my counterpart, you know, I could see, like, he had fucking mommy issues. Like, he has fucking mommy issues. And he was trying to project that at me. And I said, no, like, because I've already gone through a certain amount of healing in regards to it. And yet I still had to feel what it was like to be on the other end of it, right? Being what is essentially a healed person who's been through a lot, but still dealing with the martyring of the self for someone who's not ready. So, I mean, I understand it in hindsight, you know, the two different dynamics that I had to learn through. So someone, whoever this is essentially going through the repercussions of healing, even though they may have already experienced quite a bit, they still have to go through the process so that it sticks, right? So that it sticks, so that they truly, truly understand who they were, who they can be, and how to find peace in who they're becoming, right? And who they're becoming with these lessons. You know, now I find myself in a very happy, soul-filled place, just alone, not involved, right? In different karmic dynamics where I'm aware someone is not emotionally available, right? Or emotionally healed, right? Because I've been through that. I've learned what it looks like to be in a very toxic inner place, right? Not only because I've witnessed myself from an outside perspective, looking back and reflecting on myself, but because I've witnessed it in another person as well. And so it's like, okay, if someone is emotionally unavailable or not ready, like, I'd rather just be by myself than go through these insane dynamics where I'm martyring, right? Because that is essentially the rehashing of an old lesson. It's finding a place where you can be very happy with who you are, and the person looking back at you in the mirror at the morning, like, if you can't love who you see when you wake up, you got some work to do, right? You got to keep it real with yourself. So moving forward, like, love the journey, love that spirit would do whatever it takes to help you heal. Even if the healing is painful, it's so necessary when we don't want to be the person that puts pain on other people, right? When we don't want to be that person that ripples pain and or receives it back, right? We allow ourselves to go through the pain and go through the healing, because once you go through it, truly go through it, then you're not ripping it open and rehashing it, right? You're not bleeding on people that didn't cut you type thing. So that is the ultimate guidance for the message. I hope that this serves you personally in some which way, shape, or form, and that the insight serves you in some way in your highest good. Please drop a like if you haven't already. Leave me comments. Let me know how it resonated. And I love you all. I'm going to go play D&D with my son. And I will see you next time. Bye.